I'm in Stamford, and this is about the third attempt at doing this because there's like these ducklings that keep coming up and having a sniff around my legs and see what I'm up to. They're like, what are you doing here? Anyway, I've heard so much about this place, so they're coming again. They're here. Hello. Is this your perch? Right, so we'll try it again. I forgot what I said. This is bizarre. So quickly, now the ducklings have gone, if you've not met me before, my name is James. I live full time in a motorhome and I travel all around looking at places. I like a bit of history, I like food, I like having a beer now and then. And on some of my trips, I'm accompanied by my wonderful partner. They're back again. There's one right behind my foot. I'm normally accompanied by Helly Bobs, my partner. If you like duck footage and just general travelling around and history and stuff like that, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. It really helps. It's completely free. Don't cost you a bean. But what that does is it makes sure that whenever I do a new video, you'll see it and you'll not miss it. The history of Stamford goes back to Neolithic times, and it started here, right on this, the river Welland, and it was a shallow part where the people could cross the river, and that's where the name Stamford come from. It was stony ford, and ford meant to fare across the river, and eventually that evolved into Stamford. We'd got Romans that come and they built a road over eventually. There was something called the Great North Road, and it was like the A1 of its day, and it started out down in, what did they used to call it, Londinium, and went up to York, Barracombe or something like that. You look it up, look it on the internet. Then the Anglo-Saxons came, more trade, it became a real hustle bustle place, and with the Anglo-Saxons they established a royal mint here, and that sort of put it on the map, so to speak. That's like VIP status, that, isn't it? Then the Normans invaded, and as we know, the Normans, they like to build castles, so they built a castle round here, and that was because it was a major trading area. They built a castle to protect it. I think there's a little bit left, a few ruins. We'll have a look at them in a bit. What happened after the Normans? Then it became like a coaching, a stop off, you know, like when all the horses and carriages would be going from London up to Edinburgh, and so there was the start of all the B&Bs and the inns and the Premier Inns where these people on them long journeys would stay. And then the steam train arrived in the Victorian period, but fortunately it didn't really bring with it that heavy industry, and that's why Stamford retains some of its sort of like medieval charm. We'll have a look round, we're going to discover it together. I'm really excited about this. I only decided to come here last night because the weather forecast for much of the UK was really bad. So I looked on the map and I thought, where does it look like there's not going to be much rain? And it was around this area, so that's why I've come. So I've not done too much sort of research. That's why I'm having difficulty trying to remember a lot of it. Now, my original idea was to plot some sort of route and walk around, but then now I'm here now, I just thought I'll wing it. We'll just mooch around and see what's happening. This was the sheep market from round about 1780, and they held sheep markets here weekly for around about 100 years. This is such a beautiful town. I've only been here 2 minutes, and within this central bit here, there's 3 different churches. So I'm going to have a look at all of them, hopefully. The architecture is absolutely gorgeous. Such a mix of different styles and periods. You know, there's Tudor and there's like Elizabethan and Georgian. There's lots of Georgian properties down here. When is a church not a church? When it's a selection of opticians? That's a bit weird, isn't it? I wonder what's going on there then. Is it actually still a church, or have they been enterprising and rented out some space there? Well, that's a rather splendid looking library with the columns there. I spoke to a lady then and I was asking what were the main churches, and she said there's several. I think I'm going out of the town a little bit here, but I've just seen these buildings up here on the left and they look fantastic. They're almost, well, they will be medieval, won't they then? These look to be little independent boutiques and what have you. Look at that, that is really old. What's that? Is it a restaurant? The Mad Turk. Cocktail bar. Oh right, this is the pub. I'm going to come in here later. I mean, it's not even open yet anyway. That's the oldest pub in Stamford, so we'll have a look in there. Another church here, or is it? What's this? It's a school. And that's reminded me of something that I read. So this was originally St Paul's Church, and then it became a school. Back many hundreds of years ago, there was a group of scholars at Oxford and they weren't happy with how things were being run there, so they broke free, so to say, and they came up to Stamford to set up their rival university. However, they got blocked by the king and they weren't allowed to do it. I saw some public toilets down here, so I'll go and review them. Somebody said in my last video, you should review the public toilets. And you know what? I laughed and I thought, that's a bit daft. But then when you think about it, it gives a good sort of indication of what a town's like, doesn't it? So I'm going to go in these public toilets. Obviously, I'm not going to film in them. I'm going to go in them and then I'll let you know whether it was a satisfactory wee. I think they were down here. I might have been dreaming it. There definitely were some. I can see them right ahead there, and I think they're next to a little cafe that looks really nice. So we'll do toilets, then we'll do cafe, then we'll do that lovely church over there. Hey, living dream me. Yeah, I saw that cafe earlier when I got here. It does look lovely, doesn't it, that? Have you seen these things at window? I love that. Anyway, I'm off to the toilet. Thank you. I'm pleased to report that those toilets were very clean, and even better, they were free. So that's a little win. A little wee and a little win. It looks a bit busy. There's seating upstairs, but I'm going there and I'm going to have a coffee and a tea cake. Wow, lovely.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
There's just so many events, and I just thought, I don't even make sense. Oh, so you can be a good
Yeah, right.
I'm not, I'm hoping I get to go home. No, I mean,
Right, I'm refreshed with that lovely little scone and my latte. I'm now heading to this church here and I'm going to have a look around. It looks very nice. Which church is this? Is this the All Saints? Everywhere you look, there's these beautiful streets. I mean, look down there. Look at that. I'll go down there next. I'll just go and have a look in church. Yeah, it's the All Saints. We'll see what it's like in here. So that was the All Saints Church. I've heard that St Martin's is the nicest one, so I'll head there in a bit, but let's just have a look down this street because this looks gorgeous. Is that a pub? I think it is. And I like the look of that Indian. Well, it's just a takeaway, or is it? Oh, it's a restaurant as well. But that shop front's lovely. Look at the top though, it looks very run down. That's a shame, isn't it? It really is a lovely place. Every street you go down, there's these ancient, old properties from all different ages. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I did well with the weather today. Apart from the wind, it's really windy. Like I said, I looked online to see where was going to be the sunniest today, and it said around here, so I've really dropped on. Look at this street here. Isn't it a shame that that car's spoiling it? That would be a really good photograph. If it weren't for that bloody Skoda. There's a bakery there, Asker's Bakery. I'm going to come back and go down there. I think the old Norman Castle is down that way. I might be wrong, but I just want to go further down this street. And then I'll come back. I really am winging it today, because as I said, I didn't decide well late last night to come. So I like to do a bit of research, but it was actually a right little bit. I'm seeing some lovely Georgian houses ahead. So these houses further down, these will be quite a bit later than the ones along here. So obviously it will have all, the town sprung up from sort of around the, well, it sprung up from the river at the bottom, and then there's the church and the marketplace. And as we go further out, that'll be why these are later. Hello, it's all right. Just protecting a property. So these will have come out at later dates. These are like 1700s. This is Rutland Terrace, and these properties were built in around about the 1820s. They're a Regency style. I thought they were Georgian at first. This land was acquired by a wealthy veterinarian, vet. It was acquired by a wealthy vet. It used to be a bowling green. They're absolutely stunning. And you can imagine the view back in the day, looking out over the rolling hills and the River Welland. I'm heading back to that little lane that I saw earlier, and I'm going to walk down there, and I've got a feeling, I can feel it in my water, that that's going to lead me towards the castle. It's just down here, I think. I think it was this one. Oh, there's another vehicle here now, spoiling it. Do you just hate cars? I'd need to come really early one morning when there's no vehicles around. Right, I just spoke to a gentleman there, and I can get down to the river this way and walk along to the castle, or what's remaining. Another car spoiling it for me. Look at that, it's beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Right, we're heading down to the river. And we're back on the meadow there, I think. The town meadow, which was originally Bull Meadow. Now, you know in Spain how they have the bull running, that really barbaric and cruel sport, which is surprising that it still continued to this day, but you know, some people would argue that bull running originated here in Stamford. And what happened in around 1200, there was a nobleman, William de something, can't remember his full name. Again, look it up. It's true this, I'm telling you. And he witnessed two bulls fighting in a field around here. And the local butchers and local people tried to break this fight up, but one of the bulls sort of ran away, and it ran through the town, causing all sorts of chaos and commotion. And all the locals started chasing after it and joined in, and they were jumping out of windows, apparently. That's what it said on the thing I read. They were jumping out of windows to chase this bull that were probably terrified. And the local nobleman, the Lord something, he was really amused by this. So he donated this meadow area to the town on the condition that every year they would reenact the chasing of the bull. And that became a bit of a, well, it became an annual event every November the 13th on St. Bryce's Day. For 600 years this went on, where they would chase a bull, really cruel, you know, and eventually they would chase it to here or on in this area, and then they would slaughter it and they would make the meat available to the poor for quite a cheap price. And it really divided the people of this area. As I said, it went on for 600 years, and then the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals in the 1800s, they really wanted to see a stop to it. And it got to a point where half of the people thought, we need to preserve this, it's a tradition. Because remember, it's gone on for 600 years. We need to preserve this tradition. But a lot of people were like, no, it's barbaric and it's cruel. And the mayor of Stamford at the time believed that. So he enlisted the police and then later on the military, and there'd be full riots. It'd be really, really kicking off in Stamford with people that were pro bull running and people that were against it. Anyway, eventually it stopped in 1830 something, it stopped. And it wasn't necessarily because they decided enough's enough, it was because of the cost of policing and all the damage from all the riots and stuff that were going on. The town couldn't really afford it, so they abolished it. There's some arches there, I wonder if that's part of it. I know that there's not much left, and it will have been a huge castle. I wonder if there's any plaques. I see a plaque on the end here. Let's see what that says. Site of William the Conqueror's castle, erected 1068, ruinous by 1340, demolished by mid-16th century. The only visible standing remains incorporate part of the castle's 13th century Great Hall. And that's what's left. Those few arches, that's what's left of the Stamford Castle. I believe there's a little bit more somewhere else, but we'll have a look around, we might see it. It's so beautiful here. I just wish I'd got up earlier and got here before a lot of the traffic and on some of those streets and got some really good footage on them streets. But as I've talked about in some of my other videos, or briefly I mentioned that I've been struggling sleeping. I can't get up in the morning because my sleep patterns are all over the place. And that is an absolutely perfect time for me to segue into the sponsor of today's video. If you're feeling tired, you've got low mood or low libido, if you're struggling to sleep or you're feeling weak, then you're not alone. 1 in 4 men face these symptoms, which could signal low testosterone. Fortunately, with Manual, you can easily test your testosterone levels at home with their convenient testing kit. It couldn't be any easier. They give you full instructions on how to do it, and every single thing you need is included in this kit. All you've got to do is soak your finger in warm water, clean it with one of the alcohol wipes, use one of these lancets to get your sample. Once you've collected your sample, then pop it into here, stick it back in the box, pop it back in the post using the included postage label, and get your results back quickly. If your results come back low, don't worry about it. Manual has you covered. With tailored treatment plans, you can aim to get your testosterone levels back to where they should be in no time. So check out how Manual can enhance the quality of your life by using the link in the description below, and don't forget to use the code KERB45 to get 45% off your at-home blood test. Thank you very much to Manual for sponsoring this video. These old roads were certainly not designed for modern traffic, were they? That's got a bit town hall. I can see the coat of arms on the top. Let's go and have a look, see if I can go in. If it's all like other places, they'll say, oh, you can't come in. You're not allowed to come in. There's a meeting. That's what they say. They always say there's a meeting. Seeing a lot of these old cars around. Anyway, nothing much really going on in the town hall. It was a little bit depressing, to be honest. So yeah, just had a quick look around the foyer. There was some sort of memorabilia to the RAF. There's an RAF base around here. I forgot it already. Whittingham or something. Wittering. Is it Wittering? RAF Wittering. And when I decided I was going to come here, I thought, because of the architecture and the beautiful town that it is, I thought I need to fetch my drone and I'll get some sort of aerial footage. But I looked, there's an app that you get to see where you can fly, and apparently it's like a bit of a no-fly zone because of the RAF base. And there's a beautiful stately home nearby as well, which I'd have liked to looked at, but it is what it is. So we'll just have to do all this footage from ground level today. Right, I'm wandering around like a bloody lost sheep here. I'm back here again, look. I've been here about 3 times. I vaguely remember there being a nice looking pub down here, so I'm going to go. I know there's a Wetherspoons, and I feel like, because I like to do Wetherspoons, but I think in a place like this, unless it's really historic, you know, I'll maybe look it up. But I need to charge my phone. I need to charge my camera, and I need to find out where this church is. So we're back at the sheep market. The Golden Fleece, that looked alright, didn't it? What do you reckon? Yeah, I don't know though. I don't know. Excuse me, where's the Wetherspoons?
Oh, it's just there.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, right then. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, where those lights are.
Cheers, thanks. Yeah, I want to go in Wetherspoons and just do a bit more research, because that pub did look a bit, it looked like it had soul ripped out of it. I mean, this might be no better. What's it called? The Stamford Post. We'll go and have a look. We'll charge the camera up and then we'll see where we're going to go next. It's interesting. I wonder what this place used to be. I wonder what the story behind this is. It's fairly clean and nice. I think I'll just get a half in here probably. I've just remembered I've got the app, so rather than queuing up at the bar, I shall order on my app, sit here, charge up, and then we'll go back out in a minute. Well, not a minute, in 10-15 minutes. The last time we were down this way, we went to a lovely place called Oakham, and I've just looked on the menu there, and you can have a pint of Oakham Citra, and it's £1.99. But then when I've paid for it, it's gone out at £1.79 for a pint, £1.79, and that's why Wetherspoons are so popular, aren't they? So I've got the history of this pub here, and it's called, what did I say it was called? Completely forgot. It's called the Stamford Post. Hi, I'm sorry. I'm just talking to myself on the camera. Thank you. Pint of Oakham Citra. £1.79. That's quite nice. It's refreshing. It's very pale, isn't it? So, number 7, Sheep Market, was the office of the Stamford Mercury, Britain's oldest continuously published newspaper. The Mercury moved here in 1988, not long after its first edition of its new tabloid size. The paper claims to have been founded in 1695. However, the date 1710 or 1712 seems more likely. The Stamford Post was launched in 1710 but reduced in size 2 years later when it was renamed the Stamford Mercury, and that was in this building. You know, when you look up and you see somebody waving and you think they're waving at you and they're not. It's a good job I didn't wave back in it. That was quite a nice Wetherspoons, nice chilled vibe, nice and clean. Right, I've had a look on my phone where St Martin's Church is, so I'm going to head there, and that is on the way to Burley House, which is quite a walk. So I'm going to go there, then walk on to Burley House and have a look around the grounds. But before I do that, I'm going back to a shop I saw earlier up here, and I'm going to get a pork pie. I'm going to try another Melton Mowbray pork pie, because the one we had in Melton Mowbray wasn't brilliant. So let's give him a second chance. It was this place here, Authentic Melton Mowbray Pie Makers. Let's see what these are like.
No, I didn't. Oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry.
Just get one of these, I think. Right, I got a pork pie and a sausage roll. Hey, living dream me today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk to Burley House and sit in the grounds and eat them. I've already got a bottle of pop in my bag. Before I do that, I'm going to have a look at this St Martin's Church, and hopefully I can go in there. It's over the bridge, the other side of the bridge. Is it Stamford Bridge? Is that where it gets its name from, the main bridge? Anyway, just walking back through the town. It's absolutely gorgeous. Got a busker here, playing some reggae vibes. That's the perfect music for when the sun's shining. Just looking down there, I just want to make sure I've not missed anywhere. I'm sure I've missed lots, but I've only got so long, and I've got to get this video edited tonight and get it on for tomorrow, which is when you'll be watching it. It's not that one. There's so many churches. I've never seen as many churches in such a small place. But look at this. Isn't this beautiful? Across there we've got where I was earlier, you know, the Bull Meadow or the Town Meadow. Look at this. The George Hotel. Now, I'm sure somebody told me to go in there. I seem to remember. I put a post on Facebook. I might have to go and look at that. That does... Oh, I'm running out of time. Shall we just go in and have a look? It does look lovely. In medieval times, when the House of the Holy Sepulchre, whatever, stood on this site, Knights of St. John of Jerusalem were entertained here. In the garden at the rear, crusaders in their black robes with white cross walked and talked. The gnarled mulberry tree dates from the time of James I. The main block of the hotel was erected in 1597, copyright strike, by Lord Burleigh, Lord High Treasurer to Queen Elizabeth I. At least 3 kings and many other famous travellers have stayed here. I want to go and have a look, see if we can go in. Right, let's just, there's people dining and things, so I've got to be careful what I'm filming. But the lady said I could have a look around, so she was very nice. So we'll go up here. She's given me a brochure. People looking at me funny there. Hi, are you okay? I spoke to the lady on reception, she said I could film a little bit in here. Okay, is that okay? I'll not interrupt anybody through there though. Thank you.
So what are you driving now then? Anything exciting?
We'll go and have a look through here. So how nice is this? This is lovely, isn't it? Thank you. I don't know if I'm allowed up here, but I'm going to sneak up and have a look. Absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? So it's almost 1,000-year-old, this. I feel like I need to be bringing Helen here for dinner. This is so nice. This is a right posh restaurant. I want to try and sneak in and film a bit, but it'll be a bit weird. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, can I film a little bit in there? I spoke to the lady, I'm doing a video about Stamford. Just give me some history in that. There's customers in, all right, yeah, that's a bit, yeah. No, that's a shame.
If you come back probably after 3:30, you should be able to.
I'll do that, okay. Thank you, thanks for that, cheers. Look at that. This is obviously for private parties. There's another room there, a bar, but there's people in. I've got to be careful. I don't want to be filming people when they're relaxing. How nice was it in there? I couldn't really go in the dining room. It was quite posh and there were lots of people having their lunch and stuff. So it's fair play, isn't it? The bloke said, he said I could go back though. They were really friendly. So I'd love to go back there and have a meal or something. I wonder what that costs. I could do a review, couldn't I? Anyway, I'm going to head up this way. The church is just on the left, just up here. So it says here, this church has played a major part in the history of Stamford and in the history of the country. It contains important stained glass from Tattershall, as well as many fine monuments to the Cecil family. So that's the family that live at Burley House. Queen Elizabeth I, Chief Secretary of State William Cecil, or Lord Burley, is buried here alongside his parents and family. This generation has a responsibility to ensure that this building is kept in excellent order and preserved as a place of history as well as a place of worship. Our last stop of the day is going to be Burley House. I think it's walking distance. The only problem is I've got to walk back then, haven't I? I was going to put it in the sat nav, but the sign pointed this way. Look at this. Some sort of vending machine. Harper Deluxe, the Supreme Automatic. I wonder what that would have been. So look here, put a sixpence in or a shilling. It was probably cigarettes, wasn't it? I bet it was, because that's probably, well, you'd probably pull them out to get the whatever you bought, and that might, is that an ashtray at bottom? I don't know. If I keep walking and I think, oh, I've walked a mile and I'm not getting any closer, at what point do you turn round and head back thinking, well, it might only be a little bit further?
Or we know of each other but got together when...
Right. Look at this. Should I show you this, eh? Oh, I'm not going in though, so don't get excited. Let me walk across grass I want to get an opening shot. Now, as I said, my plan, before I reveal this to you, my plan was to come with the drone and get some amazing drone footage. But you're not allowed. Really strict. RAF, Whittingham, Whitting, some RAF around here. So you can't do it. So you'll just have to make do with this. Are you ready? Check that out. That'd do me. I'd be happy with that. Absolutely stunning. Elizabethan mansion. The bit to the left, I don't know if that's probably a chapel or something. That seems to have been more recent. It just looks more modern, doesn't it? Anyway, I'm going to walk around the grounds because it's a beautiful day. I'm going to sit down. I need a toilet actually. I wonder if I can go into the toilet. Not like main one. Not like Mr. Cecil's toilet that'll probably all be gold and everything. Just like on entrance they might have some toilets, so I'll go and have a look at that. So yeah, this is Burley House that was built between 1555 and 1587 for Sir William Cecil. And he was the High Treasurer to the Queen Elizabeth I, and he became the first Baron Bailey. We've looked at his tomb further down in the church. He designed the house himself, which is quite impressive, isn't it? His family still lives here. The Cecil family have lived here since then, since it was built. It's set in around about 2,000 acres, which were designed by the famous, what was he called? Lancelot Capability Brown. And this is all open to the public. There's an adventure playground down there. They have lots of events that are open to public. I know it's quite big on like horse trials and stuff. They have an annual horse trial thing. Is it the Burley Horse Trials in September, something like that? You're going to pay to get in here. The gardens. I'm doing it. he says, until he sees price, and it's like £37. Right, we have got the Garden of Surprises, and then the Sculpture Garden, and then the private family garden. This is going to be one expensive pork pie. I've just paid 11 quid to get in here. I'll just follow the path. Lots of benches for pork pies and sausage rolls. I'm going to get some steak because when we went to Helmsley, I won't pay to go in Castle, but that were 12 quid each. And when there's two of you, it's twice price, isn't it? When it's me on my own, I can do it. I can afford 11 quid. I've only had a pint at £1.79 and a sausage roll and a pork pie. I haven't even had them yet. It's been a cheap day, so I can stretch to 11 quid to come in a pretty garden. Oh, look at this. Wow. This is stunning. I think this bench could potentially be pork pie bench. It's got a bit of sun on it, so I think it's time. It's that time, guys. Oh, this is exciting. What shall we have first? Let's do the pork pie first. There you go. It's got burnt bits. It looks a lot nicer than the one in... Oh, this camera's shaking all over with wind. It looks a lot nicer than the one in Melton Mowbray. It's nice pastry. There's people walking past. Look at that idiot with a tripod filming himself. It's nice. I prefer them a bit warm, you know, with the fat that when it comes running out and goes down your chin, that's much better. Sausage roll time now. Now, as a lot of you know, my body's a temple. I've cut right down on my food. So I'm not actually going to be eating all these. I'm just having a taste so I can still do the reviews and the food bits, and then I'll pack it away and I'll probably have it later on tonight or even tomorrow. But anyway, here's the sausage roll. It looks like a good quality sausage roll. That's a good bit of sausage. It's quite spicy and peppery. Can you see there? And again, it's got the burnt bits. You've got to love the burnt bits, haven't you? I don't know if that place where I've got them from is a famous place, but they are lovely. Anyway, I'm sat here like a right dork and people keep walking past, so that's why I probably look a bit sus. They'll be like, what's he doing? So that's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed today. I've had a great day and I love going out on these little solo trips and finding new places. I can't recommend Stamford enough. These gardens are absolutely beautiful. You know, if you ever come here and it's a glorious sunny day, bring a picnic, bring your family and come and you can spend a few hours here. Anyway, that's it. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Please make sure you subscribe and comment and like and press all the buttons. And I'll see you in the next one. All right. See you.